All right, I'm going to say, first of all, a lot of people have been real good to me today. I got some vitamin C and some breakfast bars. Someone give me a pack of cigarettes. I got to help out somebody who helped me out a time or two. And although folks don't quite understand, there's two. There's 3 people here in town that in recent week or so have started to take a look at evidence and going to the media together is a good idea. I didn't tell them I came up with it years ago, but then nobody tried. But yeah, it's definite need. There's a guy here named Will Chappell, and he's interested in a story on the homeless here in Tillamook. Possibly an editorial. I got 14 months of what it's really like out here recorded. This is just my experience as an outsider. I don't do drugs, so I don't fit in, basically. I'm not from here, and I definitely don't think the same way as most of these folks. When I'm overwhelmed, I can't guarantee I'll protect your name. I might spit it out on accident. It's a problem with not going in with the victim right when the situation happens and not trying to turn it in right away. Now, once there's been a safety issue created by law enforcement, it is important not to make the victim go back to that law enforcement agency over and over and over again. That's what I'm having to do. And every agency that I call other than that, you get to hear recording after recording on my channel where they say to call 911 if it's an emergency. Can I really call 911? No. It's one thing to hear the story and somebody saying they got evidence. The attitude's kind of like, yeah. But then once they start seeing it, their breaths start kicking into overdrive and they go, holy shit. And some of them get real scared. I've got people all over the country that have spoken up about being afraid of local law enforcement, one end of the country to the other. Many more of them have mental issues that they believe make it so that nobody will listen to them. Well, they legally have to. All the people that know me in person, have met me in person, have interacted with me in person, know I'm not a nut job who's schizophrenic. I'm a guy who grew up in hell, and I don't want anybody else to have to live through that. I run my mouth no matter how big I am or how little I am. When wrong things are happening, somebody's got to speak up, even if that leads to an ass whooping or a lynching. My friends and family have some very specific instructions elsewhere for if things go to hell. Some of them will follow through, some of them won't. My phone's gonna die here shortly. I do expect Mr. Wolnez to probably come by and start more crap. Might throw more stuff at my vehicle. Might scream some more stuff. But he's not the only person I have to worry about. There's a lot of people that just, I wrote them the wrong way, and that's alright. A lot of people are offended by my filthy mouth. Well, if it was your friends and family dying off like flies, I'm fairly certain you'd be angry as well. Just because somebody you care about dives into drugs and alcohol doesn't mean you stop caring about them. When Natalie disappeared, I wanted her to be found safe, and I offered every penny that I had to get her safe. I didn't care about anything else. All my friends were trying to tell me, oh, Sean, she probably just went partying and, it's no big thing. I'm like, here's the thing is that I've grown up in the system and then on the streets. I know how things work. Not how they work in Hollywood. I've seen the movies. That's not how reality fucking works. And any of you dumb enough to believe that, well, your ignorance is the reason we live in the world that we live in. Very specifically because of the kindness of people who work here. I have been treated better than any hobo probably in the history of here. But also, I don't record to be a dickhead. I record for my safety and for the safety of those around me. Them racist little shitheads that are throwing stuff at my vehicle, calling me all sorts of names, calling me the N-word. You can also see while I was down in that parking lot. So whenever I heard screaming or shouting or people in danger, what did I do? I pulled out my fucking camera and I fucking recorded it. You can see through some of my videos where I'm talking on video and I hear somebody scream, and I do get out and I look. Because the police aren't going to do their fucking jobs. That's not what they're paid for, apparently. Then we got to look at the sheer quantity of money spent here by all of these government agencies to talk over me like I'm an idiot. Oh, I just got smoke in my eyes. There's evidence that I gave to one of the ladies here who's helping me. That way she could make photocopies of it and have copies of her own. There's a lot of it. Like, we went up there and we grabbed just a few of the pieces of paper, but it all needs to be grabbed. I mean, the stuff with Leslie Snell, the stuff with her husband, the stuff with her husband's brother, the situation with Chris Kurth and Leslie Snell's brother-in-law, with her repeated threats and harassment. Itchy beard. The fact that I always let someone know what was going on, and I still do. I always message somebody, so at least there's some evidence that I'm trying to document it with someone who might help me to turn it in, because, again, the most important instruction, go in with a friend or family member. I was assaulted at the hospital here on January 28th. Of course, then they did some other stuff that was definitely improper. It's recorded on my channel, some of it. They didn't care about the situation. The police have abused their power over and over again to have me stranded off the middle of nowhere with a fucked up back, and I have to try to magic my way back to some location. Here it's only a couple of miles, apparently, but I couldn't do it, especially not without a cane. My physical health is getting worse from all this abuse. But y'all don't understand that. You don't want to try to understand that. Having an idea about the situation is really messed up. But there's also the way that it's painted. And it's one thing to watch the Natalie Bollinger stuff and just believe what you're reading or hearing. It's another thing entirely when you see that stuff in proper context, in the actual conversations, in the actual videos. I can barely function to speak when I'm alone. Now, the folks here, including the management, we're gonna try to follow the same protocol. I did speak with them today, and one of the managers did too. If there's issues, to go inside. My battery's almost dead, and that's one big, huge issue, constantly having to try to charge up my battery. I also got a little electric heater in here. Now, I just can't use it because I can't start my vehicle. I do have temporary permission to have it here, and they're aware that it's busted down. This is one of the things I was speaking out before I ever left Nebraska, is that this car is old, and it's impossible to live on $822 a month anywhere. I keep getting told there's no emergency housing, but there actually is. The problem is that emergency housing is supposed to be for people who are being abused and whose lives are at risk. Also, it needs to be signed off by the sheriff's department. That's not in every state, just in most. They do have emergency housing vouchers. The thing is, with being abused, One of my abusers was able to get a housing voucher. I'm gonna go inside for a little bit because I'm a little overwhelmed and it kind of sucks. And my battery is almost dead, and it does make me feel safer to do so. I'm not worried about anyone harming me in there as far as the staff go. A lot of them are at least slightly informed on the situation. A lot of them, well, I'd like for all of our stuff to be safe. I'd like to be able to take down every single video, not take them off the internet altogether, but to make them private, because they're all meant as evidence. I'm still not interested in a firearm. Lots of people have offered them. I did see Ashley today. Again, she didn't create any problems or issues. I have seen a few of the people that have been predatory towards me, but for the most part, I've been petting puppies, trying to be positive. The thing here is that the American people, especially poor people and people who work for a living, they don't feel as if they have a voice. That's because they're lied to when they go in a home. We taught everybody to be at each other's throats. That's not the way it was in the 80s. In the 80s, we taught people to work together. I like giving people respect. Oh my God, how big are you? How big are you? How big are you? How big are you? That is so cool. They have a pink one. Oh, come on. Oh. You gonna get it? I'm too broke. It's the unicorn one. I need to stop smoking cigarettes.
Stop smoking cigarettes.
I sound like an 80-year-old lady.
I know, it's hard. It took me a long time. It's a hard thing to do.
And I wasn't even a lounge singer. I don't even deserve this place. I didn't earn it.
Well, then there's only one thing to do.
Become a lounge singer?
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
You know what? stupid people. Smart people sound like crazy people to stupid people. Oh my God! How much? Oh my God! So it's a free sample. No, they're my bubbles. This makes me feel like a magical princess. Okay.
Magical princess.
I just wish I had my pink unicorn hat.
Pink unicorn.
I have.
My mom has a hat that says super rich.
My mom would love that. I have summoned bubbles. I'm a magical princess.
The bubbles are depleting.
That's okay. So's my head. That's how I floated back down to earth.
I thought it smelled.
I was never an angel. My bubbles in that. Oh my God, yes.
I'll be right back with Chris.
All right.
Back? No, no, back. No, back. No, después tengo muchas en mi casa y no las traigo.
I got the water. All right. Yeah, thanks, Bob. Didn't want to pay for those twice.
Down the street and got their lights on. They're fucking with somebody. I can't see them from here. And well, for right now, I'm glad I have some folks willing to listen. It gets overwhelming real quick. And I'm not a very nice person when it comes to abuse. I'm not sure if you noticed. The king and his men stole the queen from her bed and bound her in a bow.